9 experienced young hikers in the middle of a brutal snowstorm at minus 30 degrees Celsius cut their tent open from the inside with a knife and fled barefoot toward death. This is not a horror movie. This is a real story that happened in the Ural Mountains in 1959. 10 young people set out. Only one returned to tell the story. The other 9 became the mystery that has confused intelligence agencies and scientists to this day. What you'll hear in this video is not just talk, bodies with shattered ribs as if hit by a train, but no external wounds. Clothes contaminated with nuclear radiation in the middle of a frozen wilderness. A torn-out tongue and missing eyes, and explanations that defy logic. On a quiet night, the wind slapping faces, snow striking like nails. February, the Ural Mountains, Russia. 10 young people, university students, professional mountaineers, not amateurs. Their leader was a young man named Igor Dyatlov. The journey began with 10, but fate took one early. A student named Yuri Yudin. His back failed him halfway through, severe pain, unable to continue. He was forced to turn back. The farewell scene, hugging them one by one, looked ordinary at the time, but after what happened, it became clear it was a farewell to life. He returned, he lived, he told the story. They continued and became the story. The 9 reached an area whose name in the Mansi language means Mountain of Death. A heavy name, but their confidence was stronger. To them, it was just training. February 1st, around 5 p.m., the weather suddenly turned into a white hell, a storm, near zero visibility. The logical move, descend and take shelter in the forest. But Dyatlov made a strange decision. We'll camp here, on the exposed mountain slope. Why? No one knows. The agreed return date was February 12th. The day came, no message. They said, the weather is bad, a delay is normal. 1 day passed, then 2. Still no news. At first, they're just delayed by the storm. Mountain trips are always like this. But anxiety doesn't ask permission. And in the middle of all this, there was a mother, the mother of the only girl on the trip. Her heart was uneasy, not normal fear, a mother's instinct. She sat by the phone for hours. Every ring made her heart drop. Every minute without news broke something inside her. She said in a choked voice, "My daughter has never been late like this. She has never disappeared without reassuring me. Something is wrong." Her tears weren't weakness, they were a warning. She went to the university. She pressured them. She raised her voice. Then she went to the authorities herself and said the sentence that changed everything. "Please, this is not an ordinary trip. This is my daughter, and my daughter is not the type to disappear." That was the first time anyone took the disappearance seriously. From that moment, the real search began. February 20th, the university sent a volunteer team, students and professors experienced in mountain terrain. Then the army, the police, and the KGB. Helicopters, dogs, a real search. February 26th, a student named Michael Sherivan spotted the tent from the air. He descended, approached. He expected to find them sleeping or injured. What he saw turned the case from a missing persons report into the greatest mystery in Russian history. The tent was slashed and abandoned. The first mystery, the tent. The tent was cut from the inside, not from outside. Inside. The zipper was intact, which means whoever was inside had no time or sanity to open it. Panic, hysteria, escape by any means. Inside the tent, time was frozen. Sliced food left on a plate, bread half-eaten, no signs of struggle, no blood, everything in place. And the shock? All heavy boots inside, fur coats inside, meaning the 9 left in socks, some barefoot, wearing sleep clothes at minus 30 degrees. They found their diaries. The last entries were completely normal. They found the cameras. When the film was developed, photos appeared of them smiling, and a final image, frame 33, a distorted mass of light. No one has been able to explain it to this day. Outside the tent, footprints of 9 people were found. Not running, not chaotic, calm, orderly steps toward the forest about 1.5 kilometers away. Imagine, barefoot, deadly cold, leaving your food and clothes behind, walking calmly as if guided, not choosing. Under a massive cedar tree, they found Yuri Krivonishenko and Yuri Doroshenko in their underwear, their hands badly damaged and raw. On the tree trunk, 5 meters high, they were pieces of human skin and flesh. They had tried to climb, desperately. Running from something? Or trying to see the tent? A small fire had been lit beneath the tree. The strange part? They died from hypothermia while staring at the fire, as if they had lost the ability to move. 3 more bodies were found between the tree and the tent. Clearly, they tried to return, but didn't make it. Cause of death for the 5? Freezing. 4 hikers remained missing. 2 months of searching, until May when the snow began to melt. They found a ravine, and beneath it, the remaining 4. And here, science stopped. Impossible injuries. Nikolai, cracked skull as if hit by a train, but no damage to the skin. Semen, Alexander, Ludmila, crushed rib cages, ribs embedded in the heart and lungs. The coroner said the force was equivalent to a car crash at 100 kilometers per hour, but no external bruises, as if they were hit by a pressure wave that destroyed them from the inside. Ludmila, the greatest shock. Her tongue was missing. Her eyes were gone. Parts of her face were missing. They said animals, but why leave the rest of the body? Why no bite marks? Alexander Zolotarov, the mystery within the mystery. Not a student, 37 years old, former military expert. Strange tattoos, better clothing than the others, a notebook and pen in his hand, as if he was trying to write something but didn't finish. Some say he was a KGB agent, and if that's true, then he knew what was happening was not normal. When Ludmila and Alexander's clothes were examined, they found high levels of radiation in the middle of isolated frozen mountains. From here, the army stepped in force. The investigator Lev Yuvanov wrote one sentence that closed the case: death caused by an unknown force that could not be resisted. The area was sealed for 3 years. The files were classified. At the funerals, people noticed their skin had turned dark orange, their hair had turned gray, as if they had aged 50 years in a single night. The case was officially closed, but what happened on that mountain opened the door to 4 main theories. Theory 1, secret Soviet weapons, the most politically plausible and the most terrifying. In 1959, the Soviet Union was testing missiles, pressure bombs, and unknown weapons. Evidence? Radiation on clothes. Witnesses reporting orange fireballs in the sky. Internal fractures with no external wounds. Classic pressure wave trauma. Scenario? A massive missile or bomb detonated in the air, creating a massive pressure wave that crushed their chests without breaking skin. The army later sealed the area and cleaned everything. If the hikers saw something they were never meant to see, then their fate was sealed. Theory 2, infrasound, the terrifying science. A phenomenon called infrasound, low-frequency sound the ear can't hear, but the brain feels. Effects: sudden panic, sense of imminent death, loss of control, urge to flee. Scientists suggested the mountain's shape and wind speed created a deadly frequency that affected all of them simultaneously. Scenario: massive panic. They cut the tent and left calmly. Once away, they regained awareness, but were already doomed by the cold. Problem? This theory doesn't explain severe fractures, radiation, ravine injuries. Theory 3, a small avalanche.
In 2021, a Swiss team and National Geographic suggested not a massive avalanche, but a heavy slab of snow collapsing onto the tent. But why was Ludmila's tongue missing? Why radiation? Why was the tent still standing? Comfortable theory, not convincing.
Theory 4. The Mansi, or the Iceman. Some claimed they entered sacred Mansi land. Others claimed a creature, Yeti, Iceman. Problems: no footprints except the 9, no signs of attack, injuries don't match assault. Scary theories, weak evidence. The tongue and the eyes, where did they go? Scientific explanation: she fell into water in the ravine. Bacteria consumed the softest tissues, tongue, eyes. But why only her? Why not the others? Some even suggest extraterrestrial involvement. The final question: what makes 9 professional mountaineers leave their tent, food, and clothes and walk barefoot into death? A weapon test? Sound-induced panic? A natural disaster? Or something on that mountain still waiting for the next ones? Dyatlov Pass is not a solved mystery. It's a mystery that was silenced. I always say, reality is stranger than fiction. This story is real. Its events are unnatural. Modern science still cannot explain them. My opinion? They were in the wrong place at the wrong time. A complex weapon was being tested, nuclear or biological, creating pressure and hallucinations. These are images from the crash site. Follow us, support with a like and a share.